Hello and welcome to the October edition of the Open edX Virtual Community Meetup. Eden Hutmacher from Exim, Esteban Echeverry from Aulas Neo, and me, Nicole Kessler from Abstract Technology. We are happy to organize these monthly meetups and to give the community a space to exchange news, trends, and developments in the Open edX e-learning world. So we have prepared a nice program for today. Let's start with today's first presentation, which has the title Scaling Cloud and AI Education. The presenter of this highly interesting session is David Lin from Vocareum Cloud Labs. And yeah, David, it's your turn. Tell us more about Vocareum's AI Gateway and Notebook and how these technologies empower institution to seamlessly integrate them.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you very much, Nicole. And yeah, thanks for having me here. This is my first time using this Gather.io platform. It's pretty cool. Anyway, my name is David Lin, the Vice President of Business Development at Vocareum. And today, as Nicole mentioned, I'd like to walk you through how Vocareum is helping institutions worldwide redefine how we teach and learn cloud, AI, and data skills at scale. So as we move into a world where every field touches technology, Vocarium's mission is to empower the next generation of innovators. Since 2014, Vocarium has delivered hands-on learning to over 4 million learners across 7,000 institutions globally. So you can think of us as the force making cloud and AI education as accessible and seamless as possible. The best part is our tools integrate directly into your learning management systems, no downloads, no hassle. So with Vocarium, we're not just a technology provider, we consider ourselves an educational partner. So really empowering faculty and enabling students to achieve the in-demand skills that they need with ease. So we're proud to say that over 7,000 higher education institutions trust Vocarium. Every day, students log in, educators log in, work together, solve problems, and innovate on our platform. This motivates us to push even further, developing smarter, more accessible tools for every learning journey. We knew from day one that cloud labs do not exist in isolation, but need to be integrated tightly into each learner's overall experience. So more than 80% of our learners do not come to Vocarium directly, but access us in LMS or some other learning platform. For example, if you're learning cloud computing on Udemy or Udacity, edX, you're most likely accessing our labs. In terms of our product offerings, we do offer three main product categories. Cloud Labs, which really enables a world where every student has a secure cloud computing environment like AWS, GCP, Databricks at their fingertips. We've already helped manage over 6 million AWS accounts and can automatically suspend sessions that go over budget, detect fraud, and then give educators and administrators real peace of mind. Our AI Gateway is a centralized AI management hub where every AI resource is fully managed because innovation is, exciting, but managing it is just as crucial. So with AI Gateway, administrators and educators can budget, secure, and govern all AI resources in one place, enabling institutions to maintain oversight and promote ethical use. Our AI Notebook is a purpose-built sandbox designed for AI education and allows students to explore and collaborate on complex data science and machine learning projects. It's fully Jupyter compatible, supports automated grading, offers AI assistance, and integrates smoothly with Gen AI models for students to experiment and play with the latest tools. So going a little further into the Vocareum Cloud Labs, this brings the best cloud technologies to educational labs. Whether you're working with AWS, Azure, or GCP, we provide that centralized, secure platform to manage all these resources with strict governance and oversight. So we've all heard those horror stories or experienced it firsthand of students or researchers inadvertently spending up thousands of dollars in cloud charges because of a simple mistake or just forgetting to shut down resources after an assignment is completed. With Vocarium, each account is fully constrained by budget, policy, session lengths, and security protocols, making sure that every learning environment is safe, accessible, and sustainable. We also can uh, pre-provision the environments through CloudFormation and pre-warm environments through fleets. In my humble opinion, Vocarium's 7-year partnership with AWS Academy is a game changer. We bring Cloud Labs to this collaboration so that AWS can offer a robust, ready-to-teach curriculum aligned with the AWS certifications, all for free. So far, over 2 million students have used this program to access cloud learning that doesn't just teach skills, it helps build their careers. The curriculum prepares students for AWS certifications, ensuring when they graduate, they're not just job ready, but also equipped with these industry respected credentials. Now let's talk about our AI Gateway. This is our platform for managing the complexities of AI in education, which is built on the same governance infrastructure that made our Cloud Lab so successful. We see this as the last mile delivery solution for AI. So an institution can have access to certain AI services and then being able to deliver it directly to the students individually or in a class. From budgeting to privacy and model governance, we make it really easy for folks to scale generative AI learning with models like OpenAI, Claude, Bedrock, Gemini, and others. We even support custom LLMs like Llama 3, allowing students to work with real-world tools while administrators can maintain the oversight. It's really a resource that balances innovation with accountability. Our AI notebook is like a one-stop shop for every AI resource an educator or student could need. Students work in this fully compatible Jupyter environment, accessing code cells, markdown, text prompts, and quizzes all in one place. We also have integrated feedback, grading, and forum functions so instructors can engage with students directly. Instructors also can provide AI assistance that help students through challenging concepts, while forums really encourage collaboration and problem solving. It's really a fully collaborative AI ecosystem. So why Vocarium? Well, we bring together accessibility, control, and innovation. Our seamless authentication and group management is through the LMS. And then we also have granular role-based access controls. So each institution can set its own policies, usage limits, and group permissions. We're not just a tool, it's, essentially we see it as a bridge to the future of education. Our cloud tools, AI tools, and partnerships are all designed to provide the most comprehensive, secure, and scalable learning environment out there. So our goal is a world where students are empowered with hands-on experience. Educators have that complete control, and administrators can rest easy knowing that their resources are optimized and secure. And that's the vision that we bring to life. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, David. Thank you very much for this great presentation. Let's check whether the audience has some questions. Keep in mind that after the second talk of today, you will also have the chance to connect with David during the unstructured networking time. David will be on carpet E, and the second presenter will be on carpet D. But yeah, let's check first for if there are questions from the audience. There's one question. How has Vocareum Cloud Labs contributed to AWS Academy's ability to educate over 2 million learners, and what role does scalability play in delivering hands-on cloud computing education at this scale?
Yeah, it's a good question. So we are actually the infrastructure for all of their hands-on learning exercises. So um, the curriculum has, I think, today about 7 different course streams, and every single hands-on lab is delivered by Vocareum. And so, each of those courses may have 10, 10 labs, and each of these exercises, so for a given student, we may deliver, 10 different AWS accounts, essentially sandbox environments, which are fully constrained with regards to the budgets and the policies, as I was mentioning before. And so students don't have to put down a credit card to, get their own AWS account. It is delivered essentially within the LMS directly to the learners, so that that they can work in this secure environment.
Great. Thank you for this great answer. Mary Ziegler has also a question. Are Vocarium products accessible to persons with disabilities?
Yeah, good question. So we do adhere to VPAT and I think it was WCAG, and so we have our report on our website, and we're continuing to update and enhance our platform for folks with disabilities.
Okay, and the next question is coming from Jim. He wants to know, what support do you provide for randomized controlled trials of efficacy?
Yeah, so right now we do not have you know randomized. So Vocarium is the platform, and instructors and institutions may bring their own curriculum to the platform. So they are building out the assessments themselves. Although down the line, and that's something that Vocarium is working on today, is the ability to auto-generate using AI a series of assessments. And to start, it will be multiple choice, but down the line, it may be more for coding or for spinning up cloud resources, that sort of thing. But today, for those sort of assessments, the hands-on exercises are all designed by the curriculum developers and the instructional designers.
Okay, and the next question is, could you elaborate more on how the AI Gateway and AI Notebook specifically support institutions in integrating AI and cloud technologies into their curricula, and what measures are in place to ensure security and budget control?
Yeah, a lot of questions there. So with AI Gateway, as I mentioned, is what we consider our last mile delivery mechanism for AI resources, and basically an institution can come to Vocarium and essentially register a resource, whether it's an OpenAI resource or a Claude Bedrock resource, and once they've registered it, they can set policies for that usage, and then we will deliver access to those policies, to those resources with the secure policies and budget controls. So we're essentially a gateway to those AI resources. And when once the AI resources registered on the platform, then we can actually help with the distribution of that as well to either the individuals or to the classroom. So we can say, for example, this classroom gets $50 of OpenAI budget for every single student, let's say, right? And so then, through the course of the class, the students will then be able to leverage that, um, you know, credential to build out their projects, for example. And everything is again kind of governed and funneled through to the administrator and the course instructor, so that you know, they can control the spend very closely. And I guess there was also a question with regards to security and maybe, you know, especially in educational context, privacy. And so we do have, you know, secured access again through our platform. And then with regards to privacy, you know, when we're talking about AI, that's kind of you know, on top of mind for a lot of folks with regards to student privacy, for example. And so, you know, there's two pieces. Vocarium does comply with FERPA and SOC 2, and pretty soon we will support HIPAA. Um, and at the same time, the various AI resources have their own privacy policies, and so we're watching and, you know, becoming experts at that as well, right? So, you know, when we're talking about, you know, leveraging third-party services and delivering it to the learners, you know, that becomes important. So if it's highly critical, then of course, as I mentioned earlier, you can also use Llama 3, which can be deployed in Vocarium and grant access to, you know, and build your own models as well.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, David. I think I think you have answered the all aspects of the question. Um, if if the audience should have other questions, then feel free to join the presenters in their designated carpet area after the second presentation. Thank you very much, David. And now I would say let's switch to the next inspiring presentation from Peter
Thank you.
Kulko from Raccoon Gang. The presentation has the title Scaling Design Systems with Paragon Design Tokens. Please, Peter, feel free to start and to give us an introduction into design tokens provided by the Paragon design system.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, one moment. Okay. Yeah, one moment. Yeah, hello, and thank you for joining us today. We're about to dive into something that has been transformed, how we build and maintain user interfaces in OpenEdX applications, Paragon Design Tokens. Design tokens provide a unified, flexible way to manage everything from colors and fonts to spacing and layouts, more than just simplifying our workflow. These tokens have a profoundable impact on our interfaces. They enable faster adaptations to changes, improve consistency, and set the foundation for scalable, future-proof solutions. The concept of design tokens is not new. Their development began in 2022, and since then, significant progress has been made. The first commit occurred in November 2022 with over 200 commits and more than 2,000 design tokens created in total. It's truly remarkable. We worked on integration design tokens, and moving forward, they will become the standard across all MFAs. This effort represents a significant step forward in how we approach branding and UI development within OpenEdX. In this presentation, uh, we'll begin by discussing the current changes of branding micro frontend interfaces in OpenEdX. Then we'll introduce the design tokens provided by Paragon and explore how they address these challenges. Finally, we'll delve into the migration process, what steps we need to take to adopt design tokens, the scope of the work involved, and how we can best prepare for this transition. Additionally, we've prepared a cheat sheet where you can quickly find all the essential information about Paragon design tokens. This will be a valuable resource for anyone looking to implement or reference the tokens in their work. This isn't just about small tweaks. It's a major shift that will require a coordinated effort. However, the benefits will be well worth it. So let's get started. Now let's talk about what design tokens are. Design tokens are like building blocks that help manage the look and feel of an app in a simple, consistent way. They store key design details such as colors, fonts, spacing, and shadows into a single set of values that can be reused across different parts of app. Think of them as a set of rules that ensure all buttons, text, and other visual elements follow the same style guidelines, no matter where they appear. The main purpose of Paragon design tokens is to make it easier to maintain and update a design system instead of changing the same color or font in multiple places. You can update a design token and the changes are automatically applied everywhere it's used. This significantly speeds up the design customization process, keeps everything consistent, and reduces the chance of errors. As we dive deeper into design tokens, it's important to understand the key benefits that design tokens provide. Since OpenEdX micro-frontend interfaces are built using Paragon components, consumers are given the flexibility to customize and brand these interfaces to fit their unique needs. However, there are several challenges within the current OpenEdX style architecture that make this process less efficient than it should be. Take, for example, the simple task of changing the color of all buttons from green to red. On the surface, this might appear to be a quick and straightforward adjustment, but the reality is far more complex. Beyond making the necessary code changes, every single application that uses these buttons would need to be rebuilt and redeployed. This not only takes time, but also introduces unnecessary overhead, making even smaller change more labor-intensive and inefficient than they should be. With design tokens perspective, if you want to change the color of all buttons from green to red, design tokens allow you to make that change in one place, and it will be reflected throughout the entire app without requiring a time consuming rebuild and redeployment process. Now let's turn our attention to theming. By using Paragon design tokens, consumers are provided with the ability to implement custom themes and switch between them both manually and by inheriting the user operation system theme, for example, classic light and dark themes. This is a very fast process, taking less than a second for the user, ensuring seamless theme switching without noticeable delays. The next challenge is cross-platform consistency. OpenEdX has a mobile app, and it would be ideal to have a centralized repository where all style variables such as colors are stored. This way, any changes made to these variables would automatically propagate across all platforms, whether it's desktop or mobile applications. Currently, design tokens are only supported in browser-based applications, but they have great potential for expansion to mobile devices in the future. For example, if we need to update color of all buttons, the variables generated from design tokens for both Android and iOS applications can be easily modified, ensuring consistency across platforms with a single change. This approach simplifies the process of maintaining a unified design system across different environments. And last but not least, design tokens make collaboration between designers and developers easier. By working with the same set of values, both teams can ensure the final product perfectly matches the intended design. There are also integration options with Figma. Designers can change brand color in production directly from Figma without costly redeployment of their entire applications. Okay, now let's talk about how design tokens affect teams and the deployment process. To fully leverage the functionality of Paragon design tokens, several steps must be completed. The process involves migrating existing brand repositories to utilize design tokens, ensuring that all current style assets are translated into tokens-based structure. In addition to migration, it's essential to set up remote CDN storage to publish and distribute brand-specific variable file. When implementing Paragon design tokens for all existing brands, the complexity of the process can vary significantly based on the scope of customizations and the current structure of brand assets. Let's talk about first step. This step focused on converting current design elements such as colors, fonts, and spacing into design tokens. You can see how it works using the example of Elm theme. Next, Paragon command line interface. Paragon command line interface will help you the conversion in the conversion process. The Paragon CLI simplifies the process of generating and maintaining design tokens. It allows developers to create and build design tokens efficiently. With the help of Paragon CLI, implementing the design tokens usually takes a handful of hours. Once implemented, the tokens must be tested across different interfaces to ensure the currently applies the brand's visual identity. Depending on the complexity of the design, testing may vary, but should be manageable with a short time frame. One of the key steps of migration is also the setup of the content delivery network. A remote CDN must be set up to host and deliver the design tokens file. This ensures that the brand variables are accessible across all micro-frontend applications and automatically reflected updates when necessary. Setting up the CDN is typically a straightforward task, but it requires coordination between the development and operations teams. And the final step is setting up the configuration. Several types of configurations are provided for use, which can be used both through code and through the Django admin interface. More technical information about configuration can be found in the documentation on GitHub. Now let's talk about potential difficulties that may arise during migration. And first, it's handling customizations. If your brand has a significant amount of custom design elements, such as unique color scheme, typography, spacing, and layout adjustment, the process becomes more time-consuming. Custom tokens need to be created for each unique design elements, and the scope of work grows with the numbers of customizations. This phase may require developers to spend more time adjusting and organizing tokens to reflect the brand's specific needs. An example of complex customizations is a lot of new CSS variables, a lot of conditions, functions, and complex mixins from SCSS, and complex animations. But in generally, for customization, there are some workarounds that may require additional time. And go next. One of the more challenging aspects of a complex implementation is creating a well-defined semantic structure for custom tokens. This means careful organized tokens so they not only reflect visual elements, but also communicate their purpose within the design system. For example, instead of simply naming a color red, you might define it as primary background, primary button background to give it meaning within the interface. Establishing this semantic structure helps improve maintainability in the long term, but it requires more upfront thought and planning. Developers must work closely with designers to ensure that the tokens accurately represent the intended design language and are flexible enough to support future changes. And finally, a complex implementation will require more severe testing to ensure that all custom tokens function as expected across multiple components and pages. Custom tokens, especially when there are many of them, need to be thoroughly validated in different contexts to ensure consistency and adherence to the brand's guidelines. Testing may also involve user interface reviews and cross-platform evaluations to ensure the design tokens work seamlessly. There are several new approaches that development teams will need to become familiar with in order to effectively implement and leverage the new features. JSON instead of SCSS variables. Second innovation is active use of CSS variables generated from design tokens. Also, one of the innovations is Paragon CLI, developed for design tokens migrations. And then CDN setup for storing files with variables. And last but not least is flexibility in configurations. So that we know what design tokens are, I suggest taking a look at the learning campaign and think how it works. At the moment, this version of learning uses design tokens, and now we have two themes. Let's try switching the color theme of the system and see what changes we will have in the learning interfaces. One moment. I use light theme, but as we can see, when I switch to the dark one, the learning interface changes. This happens without reloading the page dynamically and very quickly. Please do not pay attention to the colors. This is just a technical demonstration. Okay, now let's see how it works. In the Django admin panel, we have Django site configurations, and not that we simply connect files with variables. Yes, as for example, this configuration. One moment. Each of these files containing variables, those values dynamically change. For example, you can connect 10 themes and switch between them without reloading the page very quickly. Yeah, these files is just CSS variables. Yeah, and yeah. And finally, where can you get help and answers to your questions about design tokens? There are several technical meetings where you can ask questions and get help. Of course, there are Slack channels, plus all important information is collected in a chit chat that will be updated. We also created a forum thread related to design tokens where you can ask questions, leave feedback on this presentation, and get help. Yeah, so thank you for your attention. Please, if you have any questions, Gleb and I will be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Peter, for this great and awesome presentation. Very interesting. And indeed, we already have a question from Stefania. Will the migration to Paragon be mandatory for the client's platform if the software is upgraded to Summit or Teak? Or can we keep the MFE theme as it is now for Redwood, for example? And if Paragon is required, how do we as a vendor explain to the customer that we had to migrate from a comprehensive theme to MFE and now back to something new?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, Peter, let me probably address the first point. Design tokens are already in development right now, and basically there are a lot of background work that was done for Paragon before Sumac, but this was decided to do not include in the Sumac release to have like a little bit better preparation and be as default solution for a Teak release in June 2025. Therefore, yeah, you definitely would need to do some changes to your branding, to default branding of the clients if you would like to upgrade the release to Teak. However, design tokens is not about the burden that you basically need to do with your branding to adjust it to Teak. It provides a lot of possibilities that were presented in the presentation by Peter that would allow you to enhance in the future your branding opportunities overall. And like some tools that were created during preparation of design tokens, like Paragon CLI, they will help to migrate even your CSS files that were created customly to new versions, and eventually you will be able to use the old styles in the new form of design tokens without putting a lot of effort in a teaming solution. And I just want to make it clear that it's not actually the same as moving from comprehensive theming as a concept to brand repository with MFEs and so on. It's a much more smaller change inside brand repository that you need like to just modify actual code that is created inside brand repository. And if you don't have a lot of your custom changes to Paragon components, in this case, you will benefit mostly from design tokens functionality because every Paragon components now include these parameters that can be configured by design tokens. And for example, if before you had to create style sheet, changing individually buttons, changing individually tables, models, or other components. Now you will have like some generic design tokens, which would basically by changing which you will be able to adjust parameters for many Paragon components at once. Of course, you will still have option to do some like tweaks on lower level, but it's just like adopting some industry standards to make like developers doing less job in creating like some complex styles, but yeah, still having a lot of benefits of doing these customizations inside branding. Yeah, eventually you will have probably more benefits from adopting it than there will be drawbacks and manual effort required to move it to the new theming intake.
Yeah, and of course, I think my main element, if the consumer needs to switch between light and dark theme, OpenEdX dark theme, it will be available using design tokens in the future.
Okay, and there's another question. What future developments or improvements are planned for the Paragon design system to further support cohesive and scalable design within the OpenEdX environments?
Great question. And basically, we probably would need to they'll convert this to Paragon working group and ask them to prepare more detailed plan. But a couple of points that are included in roadmap, except maintaining the style dictionary of Paragon components and extended it in the future with new components. It's also creating a default OpenEdX dark theme or like different variant of the OpenEdX theme, which will be possible to easily adapt or generate without doing a lot of additional development by actually cooperating with a new UI UX working group that was founded in OpenEdX community. So this is probably the most prominent action from the future roadmap of adapting design tokens for OpenEdX community.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for answering the questions. And if there are no further questions popping up from the audience, I would say thank you very much for the presentation. Very interesting, very great topic. And yes, let's now we want to invite you all to join us for the unstructured networking in the main hall. So keep in mind that David will be on carpet E and Peter and Gleb will be available for you on carpet D.